Beast Mode has only ever been in Gears 3 as its own game mode and returned kinda sorta in Judgment as the best game mode in the series, but for some reason it never came back. It's kinda like the Coalition is the fun police and doesn't want anything cool in their games, but I'm here to say, while you may want Beast Mode in current Gears, it simply won't work. Not in the same way at least. Beast Mode made sense and worked out so well in Gears 3 because there's such a colorful cast of locusts built up throughout the trilogy. If you don't remember, Gears 1 only had a small amount of enemies. There were boomers, drones, grenadiers, wretches, and Theron guards. Reavers, corpses, and berserkers were also there, but weren't common enemies. I think miners were there too, but you don't need to know about that. Every one of these enemies are completely different from one another and made a fun story mode. With every installment, Epic added more and more enemies, all with new personalities, and by the time Gears 3 came out, there was such a huge cast. A brand new mode dedicated to the Locust was made, and it was sick. It was a reverse horde mode, so instead of fighting to survive, you fought for the queen and to survive. The first row of locusts are free, but as you play, you actually get money to unlock more rows of locusts. Now, this blew little adolescent Crisp's mind because the locusts were so damn cool. Of course I want to play as the Cantus, that's like my favoriteest thing ever. The thing about Gears 3 is that you're not just playing as the enemy, you're playing as an army. There are supports, tanks, foot soldiers, and I don't know what class you'd put the Berserker in, but she's there too. Beast Mode benefits so much from Epic's want of a good game that they go above and beyond by letting you play as Centipedes, Corpsers, and Blood Mounts. This kind of diversity is fun and gives you an interesting gameplay curve compared to how you normally play the game. Modern day Beast Mode wouldn't be able to hold a candle to the way classic Beast Mode was. Since Gears 5 struggles with enemy variety, it would make a horrible Beast Mode. Instead of just telling you flat out, I'll demonstrate. On screen now is a picture of every single enemy in the game. Seems like a lot of enemies, right? Well, let's try to fit the important ones into this hypothetical Beast Mode installment. First, let's take away all the long-range shooters. Long-range weapons would make the game mode too easy since long-range weapons are pretty much one-shot weapons at a range that completely restricts movement. Next, let's take out the Locust and Lambent versions of Swarm enemies, since they would all serve the same purpose. The Swarm is more important here, since this is their story. Okay, now that some of the fluff is taken out, we can start to make our selections. Since Beast Mode Classic has a total of 15 characters, let's put 15 here as well. The first row is going to consist of Drone, Grenadier, Juvie, Leech, and Buzzkill Scion. Just like Beast Mode Classic, you have multiple ways to get in initially with a tank, some supports, and foot soldiers. In row 2, we have Sire, Boomshot Scion, and Overkill DR1. This row has two characters who do well at close quarters and, using Gears of War 4 mechanics that for some reason aren't in Gears 5, a supporting tank that can buff and heal teammates. In the third tier, we'll put Dropshot Scion, Stump, Snatcher, and Pouncer. Two of these enemies can reach over cover, and the other two can be used as a bullet sponge to scare the cog. Finally, we'll end it off with Matriarch, Guardian, and Carrier. They're all tough enemies that ignore pretty much all reinforcements. This looks like a great cast. Wait, hold on. It kinda sucks. About half of these characters are the same thing. You have big guy tank with a gun, then you have big guy tank with a gun, and oh, you have regular guy with a gun, and regular guy with a gun, and blah 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 blah. Oh man, I'm not feeling too well. I should have picked the guy with the gun. Oh, you should have picked the other guy with the gun. Oh. There's not really a gameplay curve you'd have to deal with. If we were to take out every character that didn't have a curve, we'd be left with the Juvie, Leech, Sire, Stump, Pouncer, Snatcher, Guardian, and Carrier. And if we took out all of the ones that use projectiles, we'd be left with Juvie, Leech, and Sire. Compare this to Gears of War 3, the game that had enough diversity to make sure that 10 characters in the game had a curve. Taking out the curved characters with projectiles still leaves you with 8 characters. I just find it insane that most of the enemies in Gears 5 are walk and shoot guys. There are 34 walk and shoot guys. It's crazy how nobody sees this as like an issue. I always hear people say that they want Beast Mode back, and holy shit, so do I. So do I. I'm so sick of playing Team Deathmatch every day of my life. Motherfuckers don't want to play anything but Team Deathmatch and co-op. I'm so sick of it. I want to play something different. But anytime I think of beast mode, I think about the repercussions I have of playing beast mode, because I have to choose what the game gives me. And if Gears of War 5 is the game that I'm playing, or a hypothetical Gears of War 6, I'm not really gonna be playing any fun characters, since the core of beast mode is completely fucking hindered. Do you guys feel the same way about this that I do? This aggravates me every single time I think about it, and every single time somebody says that they want a beast mode in Gears of War 5 or 6. We don't need it, because it would just ruin the game and disappoint me even more.